Morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. Do you remember Robin Williams in that film? It was a very good film. I haven't seen that film in years. Directed by Barry Levinson. That famous line where he's limping through the jungle because they're lost. And he says, if we keep going, we're probably going to just go in a circle. How are you all? Trina Cotton. Morning, everyone. So happy to be catching a live this morning. And we're happy that you're catching this live, Trina. Julie Everett, Sky, lots of you with Sky especially, very constructive suggestions yesterday and last night with the Vlogmas on how to avoid the catastrophe of it crashing in. Many of you included Sky, suggesting, well, we could have prepared for this 2 weeks earlier. Yes, couldn't we just? And that was exactly the point I was kind of trying to make to Nads. It was fun though, wasn't it? A couple of you said, oh, I've not seen Mark look that cross. I was genuinely frustrated. It has to be said. And that frustration continues unabated tonight. It's you've only hit the tip of the iceberg. As someone says, it's a bit of a soap opera and it's going to carry on tonight, rumbling and tumbling.
Well, explain to people that might not have seen what you're talking about.
The fact that Nadia has arranged for us to have a walk-in wardrobe built or constructed, theoretically, during the busiest time for Christmas, when everyone's locked in,
and we
no
are
one can
covering
escape.
That in our Vlogmas.
Yeah, God, all right, babe. What do you want to do? Take the magic out of any?
Well, no, you started
Oh
it.
my Lord!
Explain what you were talking about.
So there you go. I think you've had it clearly described to you. For anyone who doesn't understand, we run a Vlogmas every year, and it goes out every day. It happens every evening. And in one of those episodes, we've been featuring.
Oh, you're being such a cock.
Well, is that how you want it? Is that how you want it? Do you want it devoid of any entertainment or interest?
No, I was just saying. Just tell people what we're doing.
And Ashley Gardner, only the best. It is only the best. Thank you very much, Ashley. It's only the best because, do you know what? You make the content, because when we're filming it, we are always in the back of our minds. I'm sort of just roaring with laughter, even when I'm frustrated, thinking, what will certain subscribers and followers and family guests make of this?
I was just saying on Instagram, some people have been like, I can't believe anyone could live like this. But the absolute majority of people go, oh, thank God, you make me feel so much better about my house.
Helen H., my favourite line, not a priority. As you get going down the stairs, putting pointless things in pointless
places.
It was
so exhausting, guys. It was exhausting.
And all we've done so far in the vlog that you've seen is we've just started to put stuff in the loft. We haven't even it's when we discover the fact that the clothes rail was obviously put up in the room and we can't get the bloody thing out. That's where it gets really funny. Lior, hello Lior, take that. Just contacting Nick the Woodcarver, brilliant. Oh, he's so lovely. He's a classic craftsman, sole trader, makes stuff to commission, has a few things on his website, carving, and essentially earns a living just doing that.
From one little knife like that out of a piece of wood, properly skilled.
Over the years, I've purchased quite a few curiosities from him.
Can you get a couple of the other ones from your room, because I couldn't find them?
Yeah, it'll take time to find them, but
we'll show you them next, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Claire Smiley, hated you guys arguing though.
We weren't arguing that much.
No, but it must be like that for people who are quite fond of us. They probably think, oh, it's like mum and dad arguing.
I didn't think we were arguing. I couldn't understand that when people said you're arguing.
Well, because you were being horrible to me.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. It was because you were furious. Morning, Dawny. Morning, Susan Norton. Morning, Dragon Rose. Morning, Jacqueline Frost. Morning, Gabriella Moore. Morning, Brittany Ham. Morning, Gabrielle. Morning, Mandy Dennis, Angela Fiocchi, Rosa Connolly, Selena Lou Flog, Chrissy, Sue Wood, Steph Schultz, Belinda Adams, Jill Lister.
Sue Wood, feeling low with your depression. Running into the Christmas gully, Sue, I will be doing a coping with Christmas mental health chat. I'm going to be posting more on my Instagram also about strategies for dealing with negative feelings and addiction and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a tricky year this year. It's a tricky year because drink has become an enormous answer for so many people, which is why for those, and I do stress this as I did in my last Instagram post, for those who are problem drinkers or struggle with your drinking, so for all those people who go, oh yeah, but it's all right, it's fine, well, yeah, okay, then you don't have a problem. You know, for a lot of people, they don't have a problem with alcohol, but for a huge number of people, they're verging on developing a bit of a problem. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for anyone that it is worrisome and tricky and difficult, that's who I'm talking to when I talk about that sort of stuff. Because what you want to prevent is yourself tipping over into compulsive, essentially alcoholic, addictive dependency in this crisis, so that when we start to come out of it, you found that drink and alcohol is the only way you can cope with almost anything. Because believe me, you won't.
Sending you a big hug, Sue. And
I'm not suggesting
else,
you are dealing with that,
and
Sue,
anyone
but,
else
yeah.
that's struggling today. But maybe, as Chrissy's just said,
Take it back
the
up,
line of Vlogmas last night was, I'm 50 years old and I'm looking for pants in my wash bag.
It was a classic line.
Honestly, it might cheer you up, Sue. Lots of
Yeah.
people saying they laughed all the way through it.
Dale Ibbotson, lovely Dale, with Fifi and Caroline.
Oh,
and,
hi, Dale.
I think that's a line for The Mandalorian, don't you? Even at
That's
50.
brilliant.
I'm
Morning,
searching for-
Najma. If it's any consolation, we knocked our lounge wall through 2 weeks before Christmas last year.
That's pretty nuts.
That's the kind of shit we
That's
do, Dale.
pretty nuts. That's what we do.
So many ads on TV for alcohol, Daniela Pottage. I'm glad you said that. I've noticed that. I thought, it seems to me that the restrictions that are in place seem to have loosened a bit around alcohol. Because at one point it got so strict, wasn't it? You couldn't glamorise it in any way. You couldn't have a beautiful girl. I mean, that one that's all green, what's that one? With
Gin.
someone, oh, God.
With a blindfolded woman. What's that all about?
What is that all
Badly
about?
CGI'd.
Yeah, and it's
It's
not
shit.
only that, it's every drama, you know, big glasses of wine and pouring huge drinks. And
I don't mind it in dramas
just
because it's part of
constant.
life, but I mean, I do. It's that line that you said. It's the only drug or narcotic, because let's face it, that's why they put 40% alcohol on the bottle, that you have to apologise for not drinking.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, I can't. Really sorry, I'm running.
I mean, imagine if you had to apologise for not pumping on a crack pipe. That'd be
Sorry, I
weird,
can't
wouldn't
pump on
it?
a crack pipe.
Sorry,
I'm going for an early run in the morning.
I can't do that. I've got terrible asthma. She is looking pretty
Morning,
this morning,
Barney
isn't she?
Plummer.
Elijah
Good
said
morning,
you're looking
Mr.
pretty.
Beginning. Thank you, Elijah.
Yeah. Gabrielle, my 80-year-old uncle had bladder cancer last year and lost his daughter who was 36. He's getting the vaccine tomorrow and we're grateful he's getting it. That is great. His grandchildren really want to hug him.
Oh.
I know. Nadia's looking forward to hugging her parents over. Well, will you be able to over Christmas? I don't know.
Well, no,
Within
not unless
bubbles.
I have a COVID test.
Not even within bubbles. You've still got.
I'm seriously considering getting a COVID test.
Yeah, but none of the tests are reliable. As we're beginning
You
to
know,
discover.
you can pay, paid, not just going to get one.
No, I know.
I just want to give my mum and dad a hug.
No, I know. It's frustrating. Anyway, so headlines today. Deal or no deal? Noel Edmonds is currently on a ferry in the middle of the English Channel, asking Europe whether it's going to be a deal or no deal. Did you know that? Noel Edmonds.
What are you talking about?
Noel Edmonds is currently out there negotiating on our behalf. Apparently, Boris Johnson's handed it over to Noel Edmonds in a deal
I
or
don't know
no
what you're
deal.
talking about.
Do you know who Noel Edmonds is?
Yeah.
Do you know deal or no deal?
Yeah.
Do you know Brexit?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just conflating the three.
But he's not in a boat.
Noel Edmonds isn't negotiating the Brexit deal. No.
I thought he'd gone out for a jet. It's the kind of stunt he would do.
I know, that's what I mean.
I thought you meant it was a stunt.
He's wearing a blouse and he's currently negotiating with Ursula, but she keeps asking to open the wrong box. Chrissy, what the fuck? Noel Edmonds isn't actually negotiating Brexit, I promise you. But by the end of today, we're going to know-ish. I don't think we are going to know for sure, if I'm brutally honest. I think they're going to fudge it and we're going to have a sort of indication today whether we're going to arrive at a deal. Thing is, deal or no deal, if we hit January the 1st, still in this same situation, it's going to be an unholy moment for the UK. That's for sure. Noel Edmonds might have done a better job, Dawn Claricoats. Now, can I make a suggestion? What's your thoughts on this? I think it seems really odd that we're very close to the kind of deal Boris himself would have wanted in the first place. Yeah, you were talking about this morning. I personally think that what's happened here is...
Better off sending Mr. Blobby.
Yeah, you would. Well, I wonder whether the disaster capitalists, as they're called in the Tory party, of which Rees-Mogg's father wrote the definitive economic handbook about.
I know.
I wonder whether they're all rooting for a no deal because apparently there's, as MeTube said, there's £8.5 billion essentially in sort of the financial markets terms betting against us. So there's 8.5 million riding on us falling out so that loads of people can get even richer. So it's like a negative bet.
The rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer.
So I
It's a
wonder whether
fact.
what's happening here, there's a bit of that, but there's also a bit of Boris pushing for the no deal and it sort of falling apart and failing, so that when this third wave, and I think this is the connection that I'm trying to draw in the title here, when the third wave arrives, he has something much bigger to point to as the cause of the problem. And I think we have a perfect storm in terms of an excuse and a scapegoat for the Conservative Party to point to the inevitable third wave. And it's inevitable. Science experts everywhere are saying it. The numbers are going up already. We're potentially going to have a loosening of tier system this Wednesday, or a tightening, and then a loosening for Christmas. The reason the mood music coming out of Downing Street from Boris at the moment is don't actually meet your relatives at Christmas. Do meet them, don't meet them.
No, we've said you can.
It's because now they're panic-stricken.
But I would say don't.
They're panic-stricken because they need to have
They made a massive mistake.
Made a huge mistake. And I think it's going to be very easy to blame it all on COVID, as Dominic Raab already is, come January the 1st. If the roads are blocked, if the ports are blocked, we could all say it's all COVID's fault, it's no one else's fault. Do you not think?
Can I just say, ever since when we were watching Sky Papers the other day and somebody said the mood music, and I said, I love it when people say that. You say it all the time now.
I've used it twice. Nanny Di. Hi, Nanny Di.
Hi, Nanny Di. God, I hope you're feeling better.
Nanny Di is doing the book review after this. Hello there. Yeah. Hope you're well, Mum. Well, I know you are, but she's much better. So we'll talk to you. I'll Skype you after this, Ma. Ma, that's my Ma. That's my Ma. And I'm your boy, Mum. I'm your boy.
Ma.
What's it like, Mum, me speaking to you through the medium of YouTube, Ma? Mum, sit down. Mum, Mum! Just in case she's not listening. What do you think about my theory? What do you think about my theory about the connectivity between COVID, third wave, Brexit, no deal?
Of course.
Do you think that? I mean, it's a theory. I'm not saying it's a fact. It's a theory.
I think it
because
it makes sense.
A lot of people say you can't have these conspiracy theories, but what
I don't think that's
no. What I need to stress is that I do think governments and politicians do try to manipulate news flow so that it suits them, so that they're not. So, for example, the Sky channel haven't covered really Kay Burley. They haven't covered the story.
Well, yeah, because it's Kay Burley.
Well, exactly, but that's what I mean. So even institutions, you can sort of you can adjust things, can't you?
We were watching the newspaper review on Sky the other night, and it was when it had all first come out, and you know they show the front covers, so they would going into detail for each front cover, and there was front cover of Kay and Beth Rigby, and she literally just went. And on the front cover, that's
my colleagues.
That's how my two colleagues. And onto the next front paper.
It's a shame because I think Beth Rigby is a really good political correspondent.
We will be, it's a massive.
I haven't got much time for Kay, but I think Beth Rigby is a really good political correspondent. So now the news that's just broken, literally just now, is this news: Germany, 36 minutes ago, is going back into full lockdown over Christmas. Now I heard, Full lockdown. Schools closed, everything.
Shops closed.
Everything. Under new measures which will last from 16th of December until 10th of January, schools and non-essential shops will all be closed. Bars and restaurants remain shut. Sale of drinking alcohol in public banned until 10th.
Wow.
Now, the reason it's really important what Germany do, regardless...
We should listen to Germany. We should
I did say this. I said this 6 days ago. That Merkel was emotional talking to market stallholders and everything.
She knew what was coming.
And if we don't listen and look to what Germany and how Germany reacts, which, let's face it, someone described Angela Merkel the other day as one of the few grown-ups on the world stage. And she really is. I mean, she really is, regardless of what you think of Germany, EU, whatever. So
she's
for her to...
very smart woman.
Yeah, but for her... And she's also a pharmacologist, isn't she? So in order for her to get, emotional earlier in the week, which Sheila Fogarty on LBC was talking about, this was like the canary in the mine for me. If she was tweeting, we need to be thinking. And I said it in the Sunday show, we talk about it in the news thing. I promise you, unfortunately, I believe that unless there's a massive change to our regulations, the third wave here could be far worse than either of the other two waves we've had.
We've just got to be careful. I mean, we'll have other Christmases.
Yeah.
We'll have other Christmases.
I mean, I think more than ever we have to really double down on this.
We've got multiple vaccines coming out. We've just got to just be really careful. Really, really careful.
Yeah. So that is big news. That is big news. Germany, one of the major economies in the world, has gone into full lockdown with all the optics and visibility on vaccines coming. So we have to rather than sending our Navy frigates into the freaking English Channel
To maybe jump
on
French boats.
fishing boats.
It's embarrassing.
It's at a time where we should
It's
all be
embarrassing.
pulling together. It just drives me mad. It's such stupid, small-minded thinking. I think Deb Burns deserves.
Deb Burns.
You wonder what's happening. A new family guest has arrived,
Welcome
and whenever they arrive, she does this.
to the family guest. The family guest, Deb Burns.
She popped a little fart when she did that.
Welcome.
Oh, God.
Welcome.
Wow, that's quite something. Did you, just apropos of nothing, just quickly, did you see that George Clooney induced pancreatitis in himself with his
Diet.
weight loss for a
Yeah.
part?
What was he do? What was the diet? I saw that he ended up in a hospital. But
He
I
lost a
didn't-
shocking amount of weight in 2 weeks. I think he lost 2 stone in 2
Yeah,
weeks.
so I mean, you can kill yourself
Yeah.
doing that. He probably was on water
Pancreatitis.
alone or something.
I think it's for this new...
That will haunt him now for the rest of his life. That.
Will it?
Yeah, I think it's one of those recurring things, isn't it? Pancreatitis.
So there you go. So deal or no deal, Germany in total lockdown and third wave to be the biggest question mark. Now, of course, the hiss is just the computer battery, I'm afraid. Sorry. So yeah, it worries me. It worries me because I do look at Christmas and I think, you know, do we not just say? I heard that there was someone on the radio this morning as I went to get the papers, and he was a very responsible LBC epidemiologist. There you go, saying Christmas is just a notional thing to this disease.
Denmark has as well.
Denmark have also locked down restaurants, pubs, gyms, and schools for older kids last week. I know, and in fact here we are going to double down on the legal enforcing of schools staying open. Whereas I think what needs to happen with schools here is they need to be closed 2 weeks in the run-up to Christmas.
A lot of the independent schools in our area, the private posh schools, have shut down.
Yes, you said.
They have. Dulwich College, Allen.
Yes.
They've all shut down, and it's just... A friend of mine who's a teacher rang me yesterday. She said, "Oh my God," she goes, "it feels just like March again." You know, she said, one kid after another. You know, they're coming in and saying that their brother or sister has tested positive. Or she said it's really scary. The teachers are scared again. I mean, the thing is, I think there's a little bit of people thinking, well, the vaccine's here, so now we don't have to worry. But this is still a bloody
Miss P.
nightmare
Denmark and Germany are locking down,
for
yet
us
we're
to
giving
April.
everyone 5 days freedom. What could possibly go
Right,
wrong?
yesterday, I don't know if anyone saw the programme or it was Sky. Is Sky do this programme called Hotspots where they do particular stories?
Right.
And it was 2 of their main journalists talking about when we first went into lockdown. One was in Turkey, one was in Italy. And they were the first to send pictures back in Italy. And oh my God, it was such a moving film. I remember those first pictures now. And, you know, they were talking about how important it was and how they managed to get into the hospital, how they managed to convince the doctors to allow them to show the ICU because it was so important to get it back to Britain so that Britain locked down early and they knew, but by getting this news report across, they could save thousands of deaths. I mean, these were journalists who were like, you know, putting their lives at risk, and oh my God, the cameraman talking about going into those wards and then going to where the coffins were and everything, and how powerful and upsetting but meaningful it was because they thought that they were going to get the news to us in enough time that we would lock down and swerve what Italy had gone through. And they were sitting there talking, you know, with hindsight going, we couldn't believe it. When we came here, when they flew in from Turkey, and Turkey had locked down, Turkey had closed all its borders, and then we came here and we were supposed to be in a lockdown and they couldn't believe it. They said it was nothing like a lockdown. And Britain hadn't listened at all, and the government... And it's going to happen again.
It's going to happen again.
If Germany's doing it, if Denmark's done it, if France is going to do it, how come? I mean, France still aren't opening their restaurants or bars or anything till the 20th of January.
Well, and
I was talking to Karen McGiffin the other day. She goes, the difference is with France, yes, it's annoying. Yes, all the restaurants are closed. But you know they'll shut till the 20th and then they'll open again. But this stop, start is what's messed it up.
And you know, we are about to have all the tiers reappraised on Wednesday, I believe. And obviously, you know, the feeling is that London's going to go in. But
Andy Burnham is really calling for London to go. He said, it's not because I want anything bad for London. He goes, but if you don't shut down, if you don't put London into tier 3, there is no discussion. There is a clear discrepancy by the way you treat people in the north and the respect for their businesses and the respect for what people do, and to London. And it is London-centric, and it's not fair to the
No,
rest
and we
of the
were talking
country.
about that on Friday, and
Not
I was
fair.
sharing the idea that a certain observer was saying, yeah, but yes, isn't London's economic contribution to the wealth of the nation is that much bigger, therefore should there be... You can't really... It's
I don't
either
think you can
science
do
or
that.
it isn't science.
I don't think you can do
well,
that.
you can't.
Yeah.
You can't make economically nuanced decisions. You've got to make a scientific decision. And one of my concerns is, we've talked about this a lot, is because there seems to be a replacement of the flu deaths or casualties this year are being replaced by coronavirus casualties. We know traditionally that with flu, the worst time of the year for flu is January, because you're coming out of Christmas. The reason January is so bad for flu is because you're coming out of a period of time where everyone has
Been
been
locked
together,
in
and then
together.
everyone kind of spreads back around the country, not just to universities, but if you visited family, you go back to your homes. So if we're going to do that for 5 days this Christmas, as I predicted before, the first 2 weeks of January could be awful. Now, I'm not suggesting, connected to Brexit, that the government want that awfulness to happen to the population, but there is a strangely convenient coincidence there which shields the complete catastrophe. It's like someone was saying on the Sky News papers last night. She said, after everyone has been through what they've been through this year, companies, industries, individuals, families, the different generations, the specifics of just different generations and all the
Exactly,
heartache
Anna.
they've gone through. To add to that, the prospect going into Christmas of food shortages and everything else that's going to come with coming out of the Bank of England forecast
Yeah,
that the
this was
collective
yesterday.
cost of a no-deal Brexit will be 3 times the cost of the COVID catastrophe.
Can you
across
believe
a
that?
broader
That's
period
the
of time.
Bank of England. Like they said, this isn't some
It's not some crackpot.
crackpot.
No.
This is the Bank of England
Yeah.
saying that was what will happen with a no deal.
And this isn't...
And yet, willy-nilly,
Yeah.
that can just go through. Oh, well, yes, but we're just going to bluster through and
Yeah.
all be fine. Of course, it'd be nice to have a deal, but if we don't have a deal, well, no, actually.
We accept we're coming out. This isn't about disputing the result of the referendum at all. This is about doing the
No.
most responsible thing. If you're the parent of children and a decision has been made, you do the decision that kind of benefits all your kids, don't you, as best as possible. You don't just go, oh, right, let's drive the car off this bloody cliff. It's infuriating. I thought a bit of lightheartedness, though, right at the end here. Apparently, these are the top 9 names that grandparents hate.
Oh,
And I was trying to remember, what did Nanny Thelma not want us to call the girls? Can you remember? Wasn't there
was it
Lola?
Sky?
Sky. And Lola.
And my dad was so anti-Lola.
Oh, because of Run, Lola, Run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do people have names that they can't
Well,
stand?
let's read some of them out.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. I'm just going to see what people's names are. Anyone have any names that they can't...
Oh, Skylis hates
Oh,
her name. That's what we were
we
going to
love
call
your name.
Maddie.
We were going to call Maddie
Maddie is so upset all the time that we didn't call her Sky.
Yeah, she wishes we called her Harrison, Laura Nichols. Harrison, that's quite a name, isn't it? My dad always hated Toby.
Oh, I love Harrison.
Dwayne The
love
Rock
that
Johnson's
name.
made Dwayne quite cool.
I love that name, Harrison.
Okay, well, let's have a look
I
at...
don't like the name Wayne.
Okay, well, the top 10
That
are...
grandparents hate.
That grandparents hate are Aurora. That's one of those...
Charlotte?
Charlotte.
I would have thought that was a totally grandparent-friendly name.
Elijah. Finn.
That's my nephew's name.
Yeah.
I love his name so much.
Yeah, I do too.
Finn, I
Jack.
love it.
Jack's become very sort of
Middle class.
Dulwich.
No, very-
Jack.
Jack.
Come on, Jack.
Jack.
So it goes with a dog called, I don't know, Norris.
Did you see in the paper today they're thinking of making rugby a choice? They don't think people should be forced to play rugby
I
anymore because
entirely
it's
agree.
so
I
dangerous.
entirely agree.
I
think it's
agree.
Brutal. But,
Yeah.
you know. Lindsay, Noah, Sally. Is her grandparents' least like... And
Really?
Tabitha. I'd have thought Tabitha would be in because of... wasn't that the name of...
Tabitha, that's your
Bewitched.
ex.
Wasn't that the name of the Bewitched?
Yeah.
Witch and Bewitched. Saskia Guy. My parents didn't like the name Eula. Oh, I like that. Eula. Laurel
Eula.
Nichols. Derek. Well, there you go. There's some
interesting.
silliness. Yeah. Bewitched. Do you remember Bewitched? I love Bewitched. If you haven't
Right.
seen the... check out my trailer reaction to WandaVision. It looks great. It's a new Marvel series. It looks... Even you looked at the look of it. Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah,
in
I
it. It
love
does look
Elizabeth
fun.
Olsen.
It does look fun. Well, there you go, guys. So look, the Sunday show should land earlier today than normal because we are quite far ahead.
Yeah.
But I don't want to lose that advantage. So I'm going to go straight off this. Mum, I'm going to call you now and we're going to do the book review and I'm going to edit that in. Nadia's going to call her dad and do the Teddy Talks and we're done.
Yeah, and if you'd like to join the family guest area, there's a little box just under here with join. You just click on that. It's $1.99 a month, so 50 pence a week. And you get extra content there. And I think everybody that joins it loves it.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into it.
We
And
do
it's
put
fun.
a
It's
lot
like
of hard
nice
work.
tailored programming. You get lovely recipes from Nads.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
It takes exactly the same amount of work as an hour's show on television would. So, thank you, Skyly. So, join it. And the thing is, you can always leave if you don't like it.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no, you're not tied into anything. So,
But guys, have a lovely, lovely day. And obviously Vlogmas will be landing tonight and you'll see the continued dramas between me and Nadia. I wonder if we should put in that bit where you use your, do you remember you use your thong to floss your teeth? I thought that was a bit much. Myself.
thank you, Leslie Sargent. Love
Yeah.
love the Sunday
Oh,
show.
thank you. Well, we love making it and we love doing it. So that will be landing hopefully around about 3 or 4 today. So now
And
I've
give
now
us a
given
thumbs
myself
up
that-
underneath this
Yes.
film if you can.
Oh.
All right, my lovelies.
All right, guys.
See
Lots of
ya.
love. Bye.